what can I say? I go on hiatus. I leave the role players alone. I, I gave enough lessons that people should be able to apply it and get some common sense to it. And yet, I decide, been gone for a while. I'll let things slide. I already covered the main issues that need to be discussed. Yet now, here I sit, and I look over, and there's two things that came up. On my phone, no less. The first time it came up, it was a little rattling, but didn't surprise me any. There's actors, actresses, singers, and other celebrities, and I say other celebrities like YouTube, Twitter, etc. They had issues where people were role playing not their character, but them. Like them. Um, I'll have to look for the actual link for what they're starting to rally behind, and I'll make sure that's in the link below in the description. Sorry, but let me see if I got this straight. People are role playing other people, but not. It's kind of weird. I'm not the grandfather of all roleplay, but I feel I am a very astute student of roleplay, and I started teaching people the main issues that roleplay was having. And if those three issues were taken care of, roleplay itself would tend to straighten itself out. But people are roleplaying actors, not the roles, but actors. Like I said, when I get the link, I'll put it in the description below so you can see it, because it's I don't even words escape me when I thought about that. I don't mean people go, oh, I'm going to roleplay. I'm going to Raja Ghul, who was technically roleplayed / acted by Liam Neeson. Now, here's the issue. Some role players aren't taking the role. They're going for Liam Neeson. They are role-playing him. Like his life. Like they wake up in the morning and they go into his car and they drive off to work so they could shoot a film. And I do understand there is a small level of irony that I'm wearing a Venom shirt, because Venom pretty much was doing the same thing as Spider-Man, but whatever. The problem I'm having with this is when you run around and you don't have any marks, annotations, or anything of the sort that says it's a roleplay account or name or whatever, if you don't point that it's a roleplay thing, people are going to get confused, and when people get confused, stupidity starts. And I can only say stupidity starts because guess what? Stupidity started. The fact that there's a site to say, stop this role-playing stuff from happening to our actors and famous people. Now, I understand people might want to role-play certain things like being an actor and maybe being hounded by the paparazzi or something, because they never have to do it for themselves in real life. So, meh. I can understand that to a point, but you invent a movie star. You invent a persona. Okay? You don't take someone's actual likeness, information. No, literally, this is what people have been doing. They've been taking their actual information, like birth, where they're raised, their favorite foods, eye color, hair color, weight. I mean, everything down to the. And they don't even mark it half the time, 90% of the time. I don't even think they mark it at all. they don't even mark it as role play. They just they pretty much fill out the information like they're the person. And people go, now I made a video about this a while back where I have a character that looks like The Rock, and I even put there like Dwayne Johnson, but I put right underneath it, this is a role play thing. This is role play. The name Dwayne Johnson was actually meant for a nickname for the character. Nickname. Because it's like, oh, you look just like this guy. It's like, oh, well, fine, whatever. But I pointed out, it's a role play thing. It was part of the freaking information. You literally read, name this. Alias is this, RP. I told people, okay, it's RP. And then there's a tag that also pointed out, this is a role play account, not a real person. And which kind of threw me off, because when people threw a fit about comic characters, they did the same thing. Oh, you're not the real comic character. Yeah, because Peter Parker's a real person jumping from roof to roof over there in New York City. Because, you know, Peter Parker's a real guy. Spandex. Logic. That way. Not here. And this wouldn't have been so bad. It really wouldn't have been. I mean, there's only a few people there that were like, I can't read the rest of the words. But there's many role players who were role playing famous people, and they didn't put any marks of role play on it. So when people got confused, they went with it. Unlike my case, where I shut them down immediately. I'm like, no, it says role play. Read. Read. Issue 2. Read. But no. Again, thanks to issue 1, people cannot leave well enough alone. These folks went, oh yeah, I'm Liam Neeson. I went on the shooting set for Batman Begins, and it took this many days and this long, and I had this many injuries, and yeah, and stop that. Stop that. Stop the stupidity. Stop it. Stop it. Now, the only reason why this came up was because something else came up. Baby roleplay. Baby and kid roleplay. Now, I thought the actors and other famous people had issues. This was a whole new level. I mean, this is, ooh, wow. This, wow. Just, I'm up a little early trying to figure this out. But it's early enough to where sun's up, and that's good for me. Okay, let's try this again. This issue. Oh Lord. Where to begin on this issue? I mean, yes. I mean, what they are doing. Okay, everything I just said about the famous people having issues, everything I said about that, take that, move it over here, remove the word famous with any. Now, this is where the problem begins. By going after any baby picture and any kid, this could cause a lot of problems. I mean, fortunately, a good chunk of them don't have the kid's real name. Thank goodness for that. But they are taking these people's photos and they're applying them to a character which is supposed to be a baby or a kid. This seems harmless enough. And then you have to remember that there's fetishes for everything. So you flip that around. And then you remember Peter Bear, which was a meme for a while. And it's like a running gag in most of Japan. It's a gag. It's a gag. It's a gag. But once you remember there is a gag of Peter Bear, then you look at the role play of kids and babies. Peter Bear, kids and babies. Peter Bear, kids and babies. You see the problem? You see the problem. And again, if someone recognizes that kid and they have this fetish, I'm trying. It's not my kind of thing, but I'm trying not to be judgmental. But here's the thing: if you're using a real life picture of a kid and the person has this kind of fetish and he's role playing with this kind of kid, and it's not really the kid, but the kid goes to school, and one day this guy shows up in the van, and he sees the kid, he's like, hey, can you come here? And the kid's like, hey, oh, I know you, you're my friend's, my mom's friend or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'm him. You want to jump in the car with me real quick? I just want to take you over. Just want to over here. And then there's going to be bigger props. And I don't know, maybe I'm just looking at the worst case scenario. My problem with that is like the problem I had with those taking all the information from actors and famous people. This is the yin yang kind of thing, because on one side with the famous folks, people are taking all their information and making a character based off of that person. Like the Liam Neeson example, it goes Liam Neeson, and then there's a roleplay character of Liam Neeson, and all the information is parallel, and people get confused, and they contact the parallel one, they contact the roleplay one, and he's going on and on and on and on and on and on about everything in the real person's life, and no, you shouldn't do that. That's just stupid. Stop it. Stop that. That's one problem. Because you're confused. It's like you're purposely trying to confuse the general public, and the general public. Men in Black said it best: a person is smart. People are stupid. And before you even get mad at me about, well, people aren't stupid. You hear the popular music nowadays? You're listening to the lyrics. Stupid people. People, as a mass, are stupid. There's that issue, and then there's this kid baby roleplay issue. And again, initially it doesn't seem so bad because they're little kids, but the people are stupid. So you know it's going to get bad. And it's not like they're taking famous kids. They're taking amateur pictures. Excuse me, of kids. It's like someone posted up on social media and they just went, oh, mine, click. And it's kind of odd. It's weird for me because on one side you have all this information being thrown out. Then there's this other side where it's just a picture with all this fake information being thrown out. But again, the pictures of a real person, and if the pictures of a real person and the other person who's role playing with them might recognize them, some people remember issue 3? That's actually a problem, because issue 3 is not being able to differentiate from roleplay and real life. It's cross roleplay and meta roleplay and meta knowledge, metagame knowledge, and what happens here? This is throwing me off. It's really messing with my head. What happens here is, let's say this is roleplay. This is the roleplay world. This right here. This half. You see that brown board, right? Yeah. You see that brown board right there? That's everything over there. Roleplay. Real life is over here. Okay. What people tend to do with these two halves is they just condense it into a little ball, and they mix it together, and all of a sudden, it goes like this. way back in the day, when there was propaganda against Dungeons and Dragons, Mazes and Monsters, Metropolises and Mutants, I don't fucking know. When that was a big thing, there was actually a little would-be movie, strange enough, starring Tom Hanks. Yeah, because we know popular media, like TV and movies, always get the geek culture correct. I meant to say that with a straight face. I'm proud of me. I actually got that out with a straight face. But, yeah. Pretty much the movie was claiming that Dungeons and Dragons was corrupting the youth with satanic magic and powers and yada yada and blah blah blah. But get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Just go. Shoo. Go on. Poof. Be gone. Corrupting the youth through satanic rituals and magic. Do you even know what the fuck roleplay means? I'm asking. Hollywood, do you fucking know? I mean, you got actors, and they pretty much are cosplayers and role players in one little bundle going through a fan-made script. So, what the fuck? Y'all should have this information down to a science. I digress. Sorry, back on point. The problem I'm having with the whole baby roleplay and kid roleplay is, I understand it's just for everything. I do. I get that. And roleplay is probably one of the safer outlets for it. But when you're using kids' pictures, I can't even remotely. And this isn't bad enough. This here, that issue right there, that I can actually deal somewhat with that. Because, you see, grabbing a picture and putting fake information on it, okay, fine. You only have to worry about the kid's image, and you might want to give the kid a heads up. Or at least the parents, so they know that if there's creepy people lurking around the neighborhood looking at the kid, then, yeah, they kind of know why. They just can't separate themselves from issue 1 and issue 3, and, yeah, they need a heads up. But here's the whole thing about hands. Thank you. Autopilot, I swear to God. Here's my problem with that, though. It's when you take this information, this picture, and they apply it to the kid in real life, and other people are talking about disciplining and treating this child like it's their child, and it's not their child. It's not their child. Even in a roleplay sense, it's not their child. The fuck? No, seriously, I'll put the link down there for that too. I know I'm not fully conscious enough to register what the fuck I just read, but it's there. It doesn't make it any less of it not being there. I heard it on the radio, so it was obviously a thing. Why is it a thing? I don't know. Wait. I know why. Nicki Minaj. Anaconda. It's a thing. It's a thing. Okay, so it's a thing. I'm going to go on record here. I'm going to go on record and say this. Let's get this out. Let's just get this out. Roleplay is not a bad thing. It is a lot safer to do things in roleplay than in real life. Okay? It's a lot safer there. For some of those folks with fetishes and kinks and whatever that they really want to get out their system, roleplay is a outlet. not the greatest outlet for it, but it's an outlet. It's still something they can do. Now, the problem I'm having is when you take all the real life information from actors and other famous people and you're role playing as the famous person with no warning or moniker to say it's a role play account. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's close to identity theft. Now I know what you're saying. You're like, Double R. You see, now you're doing the issue one. You're not leaving it alone. That's going a little too far. We're not trying to do anything like identity theft. Okay. If you are role playing somebody, fuck it. I'll use an example I can put as the warning sign level here. When I was role playing really, really heavily, I pointed out that I had a character known as The Rock. WWE's character, The Rock. Quote unquote Dwayne Johnson. Again, I threw Dwayne Johnson off. I just left it as The Rock. So people knew it was the character, The Rock. They understood that. I put The Rock's match history and his wrestling statistics on there. I didn't put his personal home life. I just put his wrestling information on there because it's based off the character for The Rock. When people asked, are you really The Rock? I would answer as character, and then right underneath it, I would go out of character. I'd even say, this statement here is out of character. This is a roleplay account. I'm warning you now. This is a roleplay account. Well, I know. Okay. You know? I put the disclaimer up there. You said you know. And I knew people knew that because Charles Lee Ray, for those of you who know who that is, good on you, Freddy Krueger, and Jason Voorhees sided with The Rock. Don't ask me why movie monsters are siding with The Rock. I couldn't care less. But they all had in-character reasons for it. So, whatever. And I also gave them the information. I was like, this is just the character. This is a roleplay character. This is not really Dwayne Johnson. I am not really Dwayne. I'm not him. They're like, yeah, I understand that. You're role-playing. I got it. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm happy y'all got that. Y'all might want to start putting out that disclaimer as well, in case people kind of go and go derp face on you and decide to be stupid. Good idea. So we took care of that. And bring that up because, again, I based it off the character from WWE. That's it. I didn't care if Dwayne Johnson got married. I didn't care if he had a divorce. I didn't care if he had 18,000 kids, if he had one kid, if he was working out 500 hours a day, which is mathematically impossible, but go with it. I didn't care what he was doing in his personal life because it was based only for the character. So when something happened in the character's life, I made the note on the character. And I made sure to point out this is a roleplay thing. There's a difference. And when people can't make that distinction to separate it, and if they go out of the way not to tell people, hey, this is a roleplay account, I can only do so much. Literally, I can only put so many warnings out there and tell people so many different times that I am not really The Rock. I'm not. In no way, shape, or form am I The Rock. The things we have in common, maybe we both have mixed heritage, and we're both male, and we both have hair. That's about it. That's about it. Okay, well, skin and blood and eyes and ears. Point being, if you don't put your warnings out there, if you don't put any disclaimers out there, like you would for a movie or anything else, people are going to be stupid. Just assume people are stupid. I know it's bad to say, and I should have a higher faith in humanity than that. I don't. I should, but I don't. And the reason why I don't is because people keep doing stupid shit. It's like, I don't know. It's like, say, teenagers killing people because they want to be Slender Man. Oh, fuck someone that did that. Never mind. One, if you're a role player, please make sure you have a disclaimer saying that this is a roleplay thing. Please. For the love of God, please. 2, don't take real life people Don't take their information. Don't take their real life information. Don't do it. We don't need amateur identity theft practices. We don't need that. We don't need that. I know you can get information from any famous person easily online, but please be mindful. Now, 3, don't. The whole kid thing, it's creepy. I'm sorry. It's creepy. It's not my cup of tea, but I see it. I can see why people are concerned. I mean, if you look for pictures of your kid, you're like, hey, I just had a newborn baby, and he's adorable, and he's lovely, and you know, look, we got a new kid. And then you find out, like, 2 weeks later, that same picture that you just took of your baby is over here, and you see a whole list of people talking about wanting to do things that they really shouldn't be wanting to do. And wanting to discipline the kid, and all this weird kind of fucked up shit with this picture, and you have no disclaimer under the picture. It's just, even with fake information, it's a little suspect. A little suspect. Now, I've actually had to do this rant over because I had it for over like an hour and a half of pure rage earlier, and I'm a little exhausted about that. So I'm trying to get my thoughts enough to where I'm not going to fly off the handle, and it's still going to be about 30 minutes. But, again, put disclaimers on shit. Please, for the love of God, put disclaimers on shit. It's weird to see a kid, and then there's all these people talking about wanting to discipline it and give it a lollipop and put band-aids on boo-boos and wanting to take it to a truck and no, none of that. Shame on all of you. Fortunately, this is not the same for all role players, thank God. Oh. Most role players have a level of understanding that some people are not slow. I'm trying to think about a politically correct way to say stupid. I just realized by saying that I just negated the politically correct statement. Nevertheless, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. People are stupid. If you have all the actors' real life information and then you get contacted asking you questions that would be directed toward the actor, correct them. Let them know it's a roleplay account. Please, something, anything. Because most roleplayers with common sense, most roleplayers with sense, I can't even say common sense anymore. Most players with sense have this thing of warning folks when they detect a level of stupidity is starting to immerse itself up. So, with that said, make sure you keep your disclaimers out there. And I guess the reason why the kid thing is really creepy is because it's other people not role-playing with it, but actually being serious about it. And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. I'm not even touching out with a 10-foot pole from this one. On this one, after the Peter Bear thing and the kid world of RP and disclaimers everywhere. This is Double R signing out because my head hurts. And reality is stupid. People are stupid. And the reason I say people are stupid is because this is a thing. This is a thing. Both of those are a thing now. Well, they've been a thing for a while, but I should have touched on it sooner. But I kind of pulled the Buckley on this one and thought, well, maybe they'll stop. Maybe they'll get the idea if I just put the basics out here and well, Buckley thought that they're doing the same thing, leaving it alone with the rap dances, and it still was a thing. And I thought maybe the kid role play and the acting as actors would go away, and it didn't. Way to go, Deborah R. Saving the world by being kindly and wisely oblivious to it. Note to self, when I just run across a subject, I'm just going to hit it full force from the start. Because if I let it go on, it just gets worse. Bye. Later. Humanity is stupid.